Peace family, Michelle from supersfarm here. So we're going to continue our series, Grow What You Eat. And this week we're going to talk about the Cucurbitaceae family. Now the Cucurbitaceae family includes vegetables and fruit like still going. I don't know if that picked up on the camera. Oh gosh. So cucumbers are in the Cucurbitaceae family. That is a tongue twister. Of course, I've written it out for you here so that you'll know how to spell it. And other fruit in this family include watermelon, squash, loofah, we'll just say more gourd. There are quite a few gourds. And of course, what we're going to talk about today, cucumbers. Now, cucumbers are an annual crop. And what that means is you will have to plant them on an annual basis. So they're not going to come back year after year unless you get a volunteer plant, which is always a bonus. A volunteer plant is when a mature plant drops its seed and that seed gets buried until the next season, and then inevitably you get a new plant. Volunteer plant. Cucumbers are an awesome crop to grow because they're a short season crop. What that means is you can have multiple harvests within the same season, and also if you have a shorter growing season, meaning your first frost and your last frost are closer together, you can more than likely grow cucumbers. You do want to keep in mind that cucumbers do need insects for pollination because you have the male and the female flower. Now, when I was first learning how to identify the male and the female flower, the female flower has a little baby vegetable or fruit on the end of that flower, right? And I always think to myself, you know what? Females know to bring something to the party. She brings her bottle of wine or she brings something to the party, and the men just show up. So your female flowers will always have the ovary or the immature fruit that will get pollinated by the male flower's pollen. So let's talk about some of the terminology that you may see on your seed packets or on the catalog that you're ordering from. The first one is going to be burpless. Sorry about that. And what that means is that that particular variety contains little to no of the cucurbitacin, and that's the chemical compound that gives the cucumber its bitter flavor. This can also lead to indigestion, so that's why they say burpless, because you won't be burping due to too much of that particular compound. The other term that you may see on your seed packets is going to be spineless. So when a cucumber is spineless, it means that it doesn't have those little prickly spikes on the cucumber. Now, the bitterness or the spikes on the cucumber are all the plant's way of trying to protect itself. It's gonna hopefully deter pests, deter you from getting your spicy pickles, but we know how to work against that because we're growing our own food and we're learning how to take care of it. The little spikes on the plant can simply just be rubbed off, or if you process them for pickling, they will soften and not be so hard whenever you get ready to eat your pickles. There are several types of cucumbers, and we're just going to talk about some of the popular ones. The first one being pickling. Pickling varieties are usually going to be a little smaller, about 3 to 5 inches, but they'll have a thicker skin, and that's so that they can hold up to the pickling process. Now, varieties in the pickling type are gonna be things like national pickling, anything with pickling in the title, really. And you may see Boston pickling. I love to grow the Sumter. That's what we grew last season. But again, just look at your seed packet and it will tell you whether it is a pickling cucumber or not. The next type that we have is going to be a slicing cucumber. And that's more for fresh eating. The slicing cucumbers are going to have a thinner skin and they're usually going to be longer in length. Now, some varieties in the slicing type are going to be things like Market More, Straight 8, and of course the Muncher. Some other types that you may see that you may give a go at are things like Asian cucumbers. And these are going to be varieties like the Suyo Long. And then you may see like a specialty type, and that includes a wide variety. Most popular, those are going to be your gherkins. You may also see something like a lemon cucumber, or maybe even the Armenian cucumber. Okay, so let's talk about powdery mildew. Powdery mildew will inevitably show up on your cucumbers, especially if you live in a hot and humid climate like we do in Texas and you don't have those plants giving them enough airflow. Powdery mildew will most likely show up on your plants towards the end of the season whenever the weather starts to change, especially if you're going into a rainy season. The moisture and the humidity and the heat, it just doesn't do well for the cucumbers. So one thing that I have learned about cucumbers is that if you leave fruit on the plant too long and it starts to mature, that will signal to the plant, okay, we're done. Let's wrap up this show, put a bow on it. We are done for the season. And what that means for you is you're not gonna get any more fruit because you basically told the plant that you're done harvesting. So make sure that when your cucumbers start coming in, you stay on it so that you're able to harvest them as the plant produces them. All right, family, so tell me down in the comments, are you gonna make some spicy relish, some Kool-Aid pickles? What are you gonna do with your cucumbers? Maybe a nice cucumber and onion salad? That's our family's favorite. We appreciate you for watching this video. Peace.